Guys, today we are going to talk about all of the things you should expect when you get to an all-inclusive resort, how to make the most out of your vacation, and other tips along the way. Make sure you subscribe and like to see more travel-related content. Let's go over it. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Bea. I own two travel agencies, Bea Amazed Travel and Bea Amazed Weddings. We book family vacations, Disney vacations, group travel, corporate incentive trips. We do destination weddings, romantic trips. Also, we do honeymoons. If you guys are looking to travel or visit an all-inclusive resort, send us a message. There's a link below in the descriptions on how to get in contact with us. We'd love to work with you. So today let's talk about some tips and what you can expect when you visit an all-inclusive resort, whether you've visited all-inclusive resorts in the past or whether this is your first time visiting. I hope these will be helpful. So first things first, let's talk about checking on the dress code before you arrive. This is something your travel agent can help you with. It's also something you can find out by doing a Google search for the most part. There are some all-inclusive resorts that require men to wear long pants for dinner. This can be, either in the form of like dress pants or in the form of jeans. Other places will allow men to wear shorts and also open-toed shoes. For the most part, the ladies are going to be pretty well set to wear, open-toed shoes, whether it be sandals or like a dressier flip-flop and some kind of sundress. But make sure you check that information before you leave so that when you get there, you aren't surprised and you can't go to any of the restaurants because you don't have a pair of long pants. My next tip is also with packing. Make sure you're packing smart. So when I say pack smart, I mean a couple things. First off, and most importantly, don't take anything that's extremely valuable to you. Don't take your very expensive jewelry. Don't take a large amount of cash. Don't take multiple credit cards. I talked about this before in one of our previous videos on all-inclusive packing tips. I'll put the link below for you guys as well in case you want to check that video out too. When I say pack smart, I also mean make sure that you're following the restrictions with the airline that you're flying with. So this could be, make sure that you have your liquids in your checked baggage, or if they're travel size liquids, they can be in your carry-on. We'll go over carry-on some other day. Also make sure that you're sticking with the weight requirements by the airline. Does the airline allow you 40 pounds? Does the airline allow you 50 pounds of checked luggage? Make sure you're finding that information out before you go. Also make sure that you have a little bit of room in that suitcase in case you want to bring home any souvenirs. So pack smart. Also, you're going to want to make sure that when you get there, you're utilizing that in-room safe. The all-inclusives that we sell typically have a safe in the room. Once again, make sure you ask your travel agent before you book your trip if there is a safe in the room. In that safe, you can put your iPad, you can put your cameras, you can put your jewelry if you needed to. Still don't recommend you take your jewelry, but if you needed to, put your wedding ring in there while you're going to the pool, it's an option for you. So make sure you're using that in-room safe. Anything that's of value that is in your room and you're not there, I would definitely use the safe for. Next tip is I would book your transfers prior to leaving. So make sure that these are transfers to get from the airport to your resort and back again. This is something that, in our agency, I know in a lot of other agencies, we sell package deals. So the package often comes with the transfers to and from the airport, but oftentimes it's an afterthought for some of my clients, who maybe come to me after they've already booked their trip and need some help. This is important. You don't want to get to your destination and have to rely on some kind of cab or somebody else to get you where you need to be, or you have a voucher in your hand and you're not even sure how to find the person to fulfill your voucher. So make sure that you have all of this information squared away before you go. Next thing we're going to talk about is water at the resorts. Don't drink the water. Most of the resorts that we're sending our clients to have large filtration systems I still don't recommend drinking the water. They're safe to shower, it's safe to brush your teeth. Still, there's plenty of bottled water on the resort property. Make sure you're taking advantage of that water rather than drinking the water right from the tap. If you get some water in your mouth, if you swallow some toothpaste water, you're not going to get sick. You're not going to die, especially if there's those filtration systems in the resort. However, make sure you're taking that you're using the bottled water that's provided to you at the resort. You can also talk to the minibar attendant and see if they can stock you with extra water in your room. Next thing we're going to talk about is excursions. So I recommend as an agent that you book your excursions before you travel. This is kind of I don't want to say it's controversial, but everybody has a different opinion about this. The reason I say to book prior to travel is when you get to the resort, you want to make sure that everything's already taken care of for you. If you're using a travel agent, they can do this for you. So it's just one less thing you have to worry about. I also, talking about excursions, so many times my clients will tell me, oh, hey, we did this and we booked with that guy on the beach that carries around a clipboard. I don't recommend booking with the guy on the beach. A lot of guys on the beach are reputable. However, there are some that are not, and some people end up losing their money, and they never fulfill the service that they hired the person to do. So make sure you're booking with a reputable tour source if you are going to book your excursions in advance, or if you're booking them in destination. Some hotels actually have a lobby area where there are excursion companies there. There's a couple excursion companies, that we recommend in our agency. If you're using a different travel agent, talk to them and ask who they recommend to book with if you get there and you want to book your excursions then. The next thing I recommend that you do when visiting an all-inclusive resort is to learn their reservation system for dinners when you get there. Some all-inclusive resorts have limited capacities in their restaurants, and therefore you have to reserve a table in order to eat dinner that evening. Other all-inclusive resorts, you don't need a reservation. However, I recommend that when you get there, when you're checking in, you ask them, what's your reservation system with dinners? Who do I make reservations with? And how far in advance do I need to make these reservations to ensure that we get a table for that night? Nothing's worse than, waiting till the end of the day. You're hot, you took a shower, you're ready to eat, you're ready to relax, and you have no place to sit down to eat. There is always the buffet in that situation. However, I still recommend that you take care of your reservations of the resort or of the restaurants when you get to the resort. The next thing I want to talk about is pool chairs. So for the most part, when we go to all-inclusive resorts, we usually sleep in. However, it kind of makes it difficult when we sleep in to get those beach chairs, to get those chairs by the pool, especially the nice chairs, the ones under the umbrellas, the one next to the pool bar. Sometimes you can snag 2 chairs in the afternoon. However, they're usually in the blazing hot sun, which sometimes you don't want to be in. So if you want to get those beach chairs, I recommend getting up early, seeing if you can snag those beach chairs. Most resorts have policies in which you can't hold a beach chair, but this is something that you need to kind of explore for a day or two when you get to the resort, just to find their unwritten rules, if you will. However, if you want to ensure you're getting that beach chair, go first thing in the morning, and then you can get that chair. I also want to talk to you about timeshare presentations. Ask your travel agent before you travel if this is a timeshare resort. Chances are we will know. Timeshare resorts, they're great. First off, they have the same amenities as the other all-inclusive resorts do. However, they will be pestering you to sit through presentations. They will offer you, free rooms, free future travel credits, free spa treatments, upgraded private dinner service. They'll offer you all sorts of amenities. However, you're wasting your vacation by sitting through their presentation. So if you are visiting a resort and it is a timeshare resort, it's perfectly fine to tell the person who's soliciting for you to sit through the presentation, no thank you, and walk away. That's fine. Be polite about it. However, make sure you're prepared for that. Sometimes, when visiting a resort that is a timeshare resort, you can feel as though you're being accosted by people constantly. So I don't want to say I don't recommend people go to a timeshare friendly resort. However, stick to your guns. If you don't want to sit through their presentation, if you don't want to waste your vacation, just say no. Next on the list is making sure that you notify your cell phone carriers and your credit card companies that you're going to be traveling. This can be helpful because it can help you avoid foreign transaction fees with your credit card. It's also good to know from your cell phone carrier how much extra it will cost you if you're taking a phone call in that destination. So not something that's completely mandatory. However, you can definitely avoid some fees if you do decide to do that. The next thing I want to talk about is the wristbands. So a lot of all-inclusive resorts have wristbands. There are some that don't. However, if you're at a resort that is a wristband resort, make sure you don't lose that wristband. There's multiple reasons for this, guys. First, obviously it's a safety reason. If somebody has that wristband, they also have the key to get in and out of your room. They also could have some of your financial information, which may be attached to that band. And it's going to be expensive for you to replace it. Most resorts that have wristbands will charge you a replacement fee if you do lose it. So don't take it off, just leave it on. I know it can be a pain. If it's too tight, if it's too loose, go to the front desk, ask them to make it more comfortable on your arm so that you aren't tempted to constantly want to rip that off. Next thing I want to talk about is upgrades. So if you're booking through a travel agent, chances are you're going to get a better room. We'll talk about this some other day, but if you're booking through your agent, we're not booking you in, the back of the building next to the air conditioning unit. We're booking you in nicer rooms that we've either stayed in or we know people who have stayed in and who have been happy with that. When you get to the resort, a lot of our clients will ask, well, how do I get an upgrade though? How do, I want an even nicer room. I'm grateful for this room, but I want an even nicer room. This all depends on the resort that you go to, the time of year that you're visiting. However, if you want to slip in there and, ask, hey, we're celebrating our honeymoon, we're celebrating a birthday, whatever reason you're in their destination, I recommend that you do this right when you're checking in. Just kind of put the feelers out there, see if they have any complimentary upgrades that they can provide to you. If they can't, it's not a big deal. If you booked through a travel agent already, you're already going to have a fantastic room. The next thing I want to talk about is knowing what's available at the resort prior to arrival. Know the different things that they have available to you. Do they have a kids club? Do they have a teens club? What are the hours of those clubs? Do they have included non-motorized water sports? Are there different kinds of, boogie boards that you can use? Is there water slides that you can use? Do you have to be a member of a preferred club in order to use these amenities? Knowing this information prior to arrival will not only help you pack, but it will help you maximize your vacation when you do arrive. Going in blindly just because, I found these pretty pictures of this resort and there's this great price. However, when you get there, there's nothing to do. So make sure that you're talking to your travel agent as well prior to booking. Ask them those questions. We can tell you when you name the resort, what's available to you there. Hey, our friends went to this resort. Can we do this when we get there? Is there a resort, that offers, swimming with dolphins? There is. We'll talk about one of those resorts later in another one of our videos. It's going to be about our top favorite resorts in the Mexico Riviera Maya area. So stick around for that one as well. But make sure you know what's available to you so that you know what you can do when you get there. My final recommendation today is use a travel agent, guys. Travel agents can tell you what resorts meet your needs. We can tell you what resorts have different dress codes. We can tell you what are the best rooms at the resorts that you're looking for. And oftentimes, a lot of our clients come to us after using a big box retailer, having a really crappy view in their hotel and having paid more than what it would have cost through our agency. So that's right. Sometimes it's cheaper. In fact, fact, more than sometimes, oftentimes, it's cheaper to use a travel agent than it is to purchase your trip through a big box retailer online. So find your local travel agent. If you need a travel agent, feel free to shoot us a message. Our link is down below in the descriptions. We'd be happy to help you with your next trip. So thanks for tuning in today, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to see more travel related content. Happy travels!